Hello everyone, how are you? How are you? I'm getting my protein shake for tonight. And yeah, we are here, episode number 85 of the TerranLamp show. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. We've been going strong. In May, it'll be 2 years. So again, thank you so much for joining me. What am I saying? So anyway, we are here today for an exciting episode. So excited to have my guest on today. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, sharing the show, all that good stuff. This show is about positivity. It's about love. Okay, Brett, I'm going to quest you in here in just a second. Show about positivity and love. Make sure you're sending people to me. I would love to have them on the show. Okay, Brett, let's go. Oh my goodness, you guys are in for a treat today. You guys are in for a treat. Brett.
Okay.
There you are.
Am I here?
Yeah, you are here. Can you hear me?
Good. Yay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. I'm trying to figure out how to get this to work.
You are. You're working.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, honey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm so excited. I was thinking to myself, I should have done this where we are with the cats outside, but
we should.
I should have done it on the deck when the cats. Yeah, I know, right, Steph? It's perfect. We're perfect. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me. This is TerranLamp, and I am the host of the show, TerranLamp Show. This is episode number 85. And make sure, hi, Carolina, how are you, girl? Make sure you're liking, subscribing, all that good stuff to the show. I truly appreciate you joining me. Again, if you know someone who should be on the show, I would love to have them on the show. This show is about positivity and love and everybody is sharing their stories. So today, all good, girl. I know, right? So today I have Brett on the phone. On the show. On the phone. I'm probably on the phone with her some other day. But today, Brett is on the show, and Brett has become my mentor in the animal space. So for those of you, there's nobody who doesn't know. If you watch the show, you know cats are where my heart is. So, if you see my Instagram, you know the cats are where my heart beats for those cats. Brett, can you hear me okay?
I can.
So Brett has been.
This is Cleo.
Hey, Leo. I know my max went up. He went up. I don't know. He's hi, Leo. Hi, honey. Cleo. I said
He's
Leo.
the best.
So,
That's okay, because I have a Leo.
Uh-oh. It's kind of working on us a little bit. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, it froze just a little bit, I think. Stephanie, let us know. I don't know if we froze.
Okay.
So, Cleo. Yeah, Cleo. Stephanie, are we free? We're not freezing, are we? Okay. So Brett has been helping me. A lot of you guys know my outside cats that have become my heart, along with my inside cat, Max. So Brett has been helping me kind of with that process. And a lot of you know that I tried to do the TNR process, or trap, neuter, release process, this summer. And if you look back at prior videos, you'll see that I got everything but the cat I wanted. So I'm learning from Brett a lot about the process and about how to take care of our furry friends. So Brett, I just want you to share with us really quick, I guess, how you got into this, because, we're kind of giggling and laughing and all that stuff, and I think it's all fun, but it is serious, and I just am impressed with what you're doing. So give us a little bit about what got you started saving our furry friends.
Thank you. So I guess it's got started, I got my first cat when I was 8 because I was obsessed with cats. And then about 15 or so years ago, I started volunteering at a shelter. I adopted a cat and still obsessed with cats. So I started volunteering at a shelter, and I learned, just a lot more about cats and how many new cats come to the shelter all the time. And it's like, where do these cats all come from? Like, why are there so many cats? And, you know, you don't hear about it as much with dogs. And so then I became, you know, the more I learned about it, and then I volunteered in a clinic at a different shelter. And so one of the things we did at that clinic was we did TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. And trap, neuter, release is the humane way to help control the feral cat population, because feral cats, which are cats that are outside that aren't accustomed to humans, they're not going anywhere. Like, the outside cats, like, you're always going to see outside cats. And so what we try and do, if you take an outside cat and you know, bring it to a shelter, chances are, if it's not social, you know, the shelter will probably just put the cat down. But then what happens is that creates an open space in the colony, and it's called the vacuum effect, where then more cats will come to that colony. So, you know, when they're cats that are kind of like in a territory or a space, and they've claimed it as their own, they're always going to be other cats. If you take away cats, another cat's going to come. So that's why people who, oh, I'm seeing, you know, a new outside cat, I haven't seen this one. Well, because, you know, more cats will come as long as there are space and resources. So.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Sure.
it was freezing up.
And oh no. So you trap the cat, you get it spayed or neutered, and then you release it back to the colony. So it stays in the colony, it holds that space, but it doesn't create more cats. Because one cat can produce like between 12 and 20 cats a year. Just one cat. Like, they can start reproducing. Oh. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, they start reproducing at 6 months. They are pregnant for 2 months, and then, you know, they have 3 to 5 litters a year of 4 to 6 kittens a year. And so in, you know, 1 year, a pair of cats can produce, you know, maybe 20 to 30 cats. And then each of those cats start reproducing at 6 months. And then you know, like the facts show that one cat in the first year, you know, 12 to 20, and then in 4 years, it's 2,000 cats from just one cat and its offspring. And then in 8 years, 2 million. And
oh, goodness.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot.
And so, yeah, and so my husband actually asked me this the other day. Do you know this? When cats have kittens, do the kittens sleep for a while or something like that? It's something about, we're wondering, like, when they have the kittens outside, you know, we feel like we see them, and then we see the mama cat, but we don't see the baby cats for a minute if they have kittens.
Yeah, and that's probably because the mom, you know, is nursing the kittens until they're like, they can start eating on their own maybe about 6 to 8 weeks, 5 to 8 can start eating on their own. But, you know, if the mom is willing to keep nursing them, like, they'll keep nursing. So when initially the babies don't move around a whole lot, if they're kind of in the mom has them in a safe space somewhere, you know, it might be under your porch, or it might be in a corner of someone's garage. And then she'll go out and get food for her body so that she can come back and nurse those kittens. And then 5 to 6 weeks or so, they start trotting around. And but like, the truth is, out of a, you know, 4 kitten litter, like, only 2.5 kittens, not a half, but, you know, just average wise, like, about 2.5 end up surviving because they get hit by cars, or, you know, sometimes someone might take a kitten off the street to get it adopted. But the truth is, a lot of outside cats end up dying.
Oh man, yeah, and that, you know, that breaks our.
And it is completely heartbreaking. And the thing with feral cats that I always try and tell people is that feral cats, like truly outside feral cats, are not going to be happy if they're inside. Like, as much as we as humans hate it, they want to be outside. And if that means that their life ends up being a little bit shorter because, you know, they do get hit by a car, they get eaten by another animal, like, they are going to be happier having a shorter life outside than they would be trying to be socialized inside. Like, they're just not going to be happy. And so TNR kind of helps with that. It's not, you know, the feral cat overpopulation problem, and it helps keep the cats happy where they are, and it, you know, helps everyone because their cats just aren't multiplying and reproducing all the time.
So tell us the process. Tell us if someone is going to listen, or is going to, you know, is listening now, or is going to listen at the show in the future. What is that process? How can they do this TNR? What should they do?
Yeah. So one kind of interesting fact is, you know, a lot of people just, and I too very often get overwhelmed. Like, I'm never going to solve the problem all on my own, which I would love to, but I'm not. So, you know, if you just prevent one pair of cats, so if you just spay one female cat and you neuter one adult male cat, you are going to prevent more than 2,000 births in 4 years. Like, you are going to stop that many more kittens from being created that, you know, need homes, need resources, need all of that sort of stuff. So even, you know, spaying and neutering a pair of cats can make such a huge difference. So all municipalities have local animal control places. Like, the police department will work with different local shelters. So for instance, Oak Park, River Forest, Elmwood Park, Forest Park, I believe, all work with the Animal Care League in Oak Park. And so there's Treehouse in Chicago, there's Paws in Chicago, there's Anti-Cruelty in Chicago. And so all of these places have humane, they have humane traps. So humane traps is a way that you can put food out, you know, like you did. You put food out, you cover the trap, you try and catch, hopefully, the cat you're trying to catch, or if not, you know, another cat. But chances are, you know, you're probably gonna 75% chance you're gonna end up catching a cat, and you might end up catching a hungry raccoon or possum, and then, you know, you just can release those. But if you work with any local animal shelter that you call and you're like, I have cats in my neighborhood, they're gonna be like, I know you do, and we can help. You can rent humane traps. Just, it's a deposit. Like, a lot of places, you know, you can put down like a $30 to $50 deposit, hold the trap for a couple of weeks, you know, try and trap, or you can buy your own. I think I have like now 5 maybe, which is a bit of excessive, but, you know, that's because that's me. Because I like to have some on hand in case I ever need them. And then always, you know, I like to have some to loan out to friends like you who want to catch. And then there are, you know, it might take a little bit of digging on the internet, but if you just Google low-cost spay-neuter clinics, you'll be able to find them pretty much anywhere. And, you know, you do the trapping, you take the cat in, you can do this all on your own, which is what I did for a really long time. I just did it all on my own. Like, I had a feral colony at work of maybe 20 plus cats that I fixed just with my own resources, you know, my own traps. I would at least, like, I adopted some of them out, but the majority of them I just got spayed or neutered and released at my work. And then they were happy eating at my work. And, you know, I caught all the kittens, and then, you know, it's just, they kind of stay there. I never see them, but they eat my food, and I see paw prints in the winter, so I know they're there.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, one way to do it is just totally on your own, you know, find a trap and look up a low-cost spay-neuter clinic. Another way that you can become a registered colony caretaker. And what that is there's a feral cat or feral cat ordinance of Cook County, which means that if you register with Cook County, you can have your own, legally, you can have your own colony of outside cats that you spay, neuter, and vaccinate. And, you know, people might try and tell you, you can't do this, you know, and give you a hard time, but it's absolutely legal under the Cook County ordinance. And you can explain to people that you are helping, you know, control the cat overpopulation. So if you end up getting hooked up with an organization like Cat Van Do, out of Maywood, then, you know, they'll also help you. Not only, you know, a lot of places have a pet food pantry, which can help provide registered feral cat colonies with pet food. But they can also, you know, maybe hook you up with one of, you know, help you get appointments at a low-cost spay neuter clinic. That might be a little bit quicker than if you were to try and do it on your own, because most organizations that do a lot of TNR kind of have space reserved regularly, you know, a couple times a week at different vets. And so, you know, if you just end up catching one and you haven't been able to get an appointment somewhere else, like if you're hooked up with an organization, like they know you're trying to help and they want to help you help, because then, you know, you're excited and they're excited and, you know, you're doing the right thing. So
Yeah, you're helping our outside friends. That's what little outside friends. And I was giggling earlier because I was like, yeah, one of your friends that catches possum, that would be me. So everybody's seen my videos before. I caught the little baby, and we weren't sure about that, and that made me nervous. I think I was calling you at like 3 a.m. or something.
yeah.
And then I caught the possum, and now I gotta you know, do it again this summer. I guess my other question is there a right time to do this? Because I think about winter, you know, we went through winter here, and I was like nervous about letting them back out in the winter. Is there a better time than one other time to do this?
So you can do it year round. And again, like us as humans, you know, we're used to our pet cats who are very dainty and they search out patches of sun everywhere, and, you know, they just can't be bothered with the cold. But feral cats outside, hi Cleo, oh, there goes Cleo. Feral cats outside, they grow an undercoat. So they basically grow like a sweater under their regular fur. So they're equipped to be living outside. So if you can do TNR year round, like I've helped a local guy in Oak Park kind of get him started on the TNR process, and I think I started helping him in December, and I would be willing to bet he's caught over 100 cats since December.
Wow.
Himself, you know, he's hooked up with an organization, and it's just been really, you know, my little Jedi to, you know, he's now like off and people are asking him for help. And
wow, that's great.
So it's like the more people that know and the more education like you can give, it's like he's doing so much good now. And he's doing it year round. You keep the cats like in a basement or in a garage, you know, overnight, in their humane traps. And after 24 hours, like they want to get out of Dodge. So you release them, and, you know, you might not see them for a few days. And then there's a girl that I was helping up in Melrose Park, and she didn't see her cats for a few days. And now they're back eating all the time at her house, happier than ever. Like it's, you know, it's really cool.
They were a little like mad at first, but they were like, okay, we'll be back. We're just going to.
Right.
At the moment.
Right. You know, they know where the good food is. Like,
yeah, I know, because I feel like mine are, like I said, telling their friends. Like, so Shadow and Midnight have told their friends.
Word spreads fast.
Yeah, they just are gossip girls, if you will. So, what other things can people do that are listening to help, you know, our outside friends? I mean, you know, what are some of the things maybe, in addition to the TNR process, do you think that we could do to help our outside friends, you know, survive, maintain, help them, you know, like of course the TNR process is important because we're controlling the population. What other things can we do?
I think one of the people think I'm I'm putting out food, like I'm helping, and that's really not necessarily the case. Because if you're putting out food, but you're not helping actively manage that population, it's, millions of cats in just a matter of years. Like it's crazy, but it's true. So you really need to be responsible, and not only, it's totally cool to feed, and, obviously cats need to eat too. You can create little shelters outside. Like if you Google feral cat shelters, you can make some out of Rubbermaid containers and the pink sheets of insulation, and using straw, insulators, you can do that. But really the biggest thing is just to try and help, or reach out to an organization that will be willing to help, and to try and, start getting those cats fixed so that there are more kittens. Because the cats, I just always have to tell people, feral cats, like they might be friendly to you, like, which is what's called a feeder friendly cat. Like Shadow is feeder friendly to you. Like there's no way, I tried to say hi to Shadow and she basically told me to get bent. So she does not want anything to do with me, but she lets you pet her because she's used to you. So a lot of times, the feral cats become used to their feeders and they will bond with their feeders, but you can't take those cats and try and get them homes, because they're just not, truthfully, they're not going to be happy. Now, if they decide they want to come in on their own, like, by all means, go for it. But it really is, to help the outside cats, like they're super cute, but they don't really want to be around us. Like they, would rather we give her, him or her food and just leave them alone.
And I like that you said, because I need to remember this myself, as we approach back into the summer, because I was on it and then I was off it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. And then I was like catching all sorts of things, and then, kind of the world blew up in a minute. So I, need to realize I need to manage it too. And I like that word you said, we can help them, but the best way to help them is to manage this whole, this whole situation. I did want to mention something we didn't mention that I learned, that ear tip.
Yep.
How do we know if the cat has already been, spaded or neutered?
Yeah. So that's like, I totally forgot to mention this, and you're so right, because as soon as you showed me a picture of Shadow, I was like, oh, thank goodness Shadow is either spayed or neutered. Like, awesome. Like, one cat you don't have to worry about. And same with Galen, up in Melrose Park, she showed me a picture of this cat she calls Peanut Butter. I'm like, oh my gosh, this cat is already fixed. Like, someone else locally is doing TNR, like, and that's fantastic. So if they have their left ear, kind of the triangular part cut off at the top, so if that is one of the universal signs that a cat is spayed or neutered. I did a big TNR project. I helped some friends go down to Argentina and do TNR, and they did their ears a little bit differently. Like, they notched out a portion of the left ear, but it's usually there's some kind of marking on the left ear, either with it being, cut off, which is totally fine. It doesn't hurt them. Cats have very few nerve endings in their ears. So
it does not mean go mess with people's cats' ears, guys. By the way.
Not mean go mess with people's cats' ears, but it, when they're under for their surgery, they'll get that ear clipped off, and then once they're released, if someone like me is just poking around and trying to help a bunch of cats, you catch a cat that has its ear clipped, you're like, I can just release this cat. It's already been fixed. Let's try and go get the next ones.
Yeah, I learned that because I think I've seen I'm sure Shadow, for those who watch my videos, Midnight, and there's a couple of other ones now, and I think maybe one or two of what I call the OGs, have their ear, this left ear, clipped. And I guess it's just good to know, like you said, so you don't think about, trapping, or I guess you can't really control what you're going to trap, but at least if you trap them,
right. And then you and, you know, then you can release it. And not only is the ear clip, but when you know, do the feral cat package, they will, you know, get a 3 years rabies vaccination. They'll also get microchipped, which is great. So that they, you know, you do end up catching a cat, getting it TNR'd, like, which happened with my Leroy. And, you know, he came back a few months after being released because he was so super feral and was completely friendly and wanted a home. So now he's in my home. My friend called me, like, you know, I know you want a black cat. And I was like, yes, I do, because my cat Cleo really wanted her own cat. So I adopted Leroy for Cleo. But, you know, having the microchip helps if someone ever catches a cat. You know, a lot of people who have feral colonies, like they know they're cats, like, you know, they're cats. And so if they're like, I haven't seen, you know, Garfield in a while or whatever, and Garfield's ended up wandering over to a new colony, a new feeder, then the new feeder is like, this is a cat I haven't seen before, you know, is able to scan it, get it checked out for a microchip. You can get it scanned at any police station or any vet hospital. And then, you know, new colony caretaker is in contact with the old colony caretaker. Hey, I've got Garfield, you know, he's happy, I'm feeding him. And then everyone just knows what's going on and feels so much better.
Yeah. Max and Miles is my other cat. Both of them were microchipped in LA. So I learned, and, you know, about that when I adopted them there. But I don't think I knew actually when we took them in, if you take them into the vet to get TNR, that they actually microchip them too. So that's good to know.
Yeah. So that's part of like, at least under Cook County's feral cat ordinance, like, that is one of the things that's required to do as part of the TNR package, you know, but honestly, if you're anywhere, like, the best thing to do is just get them fixed, because, you know, microchips can be an extra like $20 or something. Like, I get it. Like, it's all of this stuff really adds up.
So Carolina is asking you, what is the attribute that you love most about cats? And saying hers is independent. What's your favorite cat attribute, Brett?
I think all of my cats have been so different. And I think my favorite part about them is just like the gratitude. I just, you know, have such a special bond with all my cats and all the cats that I've ever had. I am grateful for, you know, each and every one of them. And I know that they are grateful for me. And that's one of the things I try and remember, even when I feel like I'm not doing enough to help the cats, is, you know, I've just prevented so many cats. I've helped prevent so many cats from not, you know, having more pets that need homes and need resources and all of that stuff. So I think, you know, I'd like to think that they're grateful in their own little ways, even if they, especially feral cats, like, they'll look at me from afar down at my work and I'll wave to them, and oh, that's kind of it.
There she is.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I get. But it's like, I'd like to think that they're grateful.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're great. That's a good question, Carolina. That's a good question. Thank you for asking. I think that they are grateful. I do think it's so funny that she said independent, because Miles, my one cat, was very independent. He was just like, feed me and leave me alone. Max is very lovey-dovey. Like, especially now that he's by himself, he's like, oh my gosh, you can hold him, you can, you know, whatever. Miles was very much like he just looked at you as if he had attitude, like, at all times. And if anything was, you know, he would like fight you for some popcorn and like, that's, you know, so I guess independence is a thing. You know, their personalities are so different, you know, that's the thing too with them. I'm sure your cats, their personalities.
Yeah, and that's the great thing, is there are so many, like, some people love independent cats and they're like, you know, I totally want an independent cat that, you know, can do its own thing, come to me if they want to. Like, I love the needy cats. So I love like, Cleo, you know, we have just a ridiculously special bond. Like, I'm obsessed with her and she with me. And I love the needy cats, but so many people love, there's so many different personalities of cats, and there's so many different people that want each of them. So it's really like a blessing that, they're so diverse.
So I know you're not going to believe this, but we are at time. I know you were so nervous, and now look at
This was good.
What are some final thoughts for our fur babies?
I just, anyone can reach out to me or their local animal shelter. My husband thinks I'm ridiculous, but I will drop everything. Like, if someone calls with like a cat, like I'll drop everything and, try and go help. So there are a lot of people like me who are super passionate about animals and trying to help them. And for as much as we possibly can, like I just try and help the animals because they can't help themselves. And so it just feels like to me, like it's my responsibility to do as much as I can in the time that I'm here to, try and make the best lives possible for the animals. And that means helping to control the population, like Bob Barker would say.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Right. I mean, I think so too. I think, I like the managing. I need that reminder because I do think they're super cute and I love them.
Right.
It is so important. And I like you. If I had I could, just adopt them all and
Right.
just hang out here. That's pretty what I do. Or hang out at my pet sanctuary that maybe one day I'll get a chance to, I'm going to have to hook you up with this. There's another girl coming on the show that you would get along with. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to give it away, but that you guys would get along. So anyway, we are at time. It is 8:02, if you can believe that. So we're going to sign off. But if you have any questions for Brett or myself, please make sure you get a hold of me. I can get you in contact with Brett. And we're going to have Brett back on because she was nervous at first. But look, it's 8:02. She went overtime.
It's okay. Thanks, Karen.
I love you so much. You know that. And thank you for all you do, not just for me personally, but for me and my babies. I truly appreciate it. And guys, we will be back next week with another episode of the Terran Lamp Show. Make sure you are good to yourself, each other. And we're going to end with, Brett, I forgot.
Uh-oh.
I forgot the surprise question.
Oh, no.
I forgot. We talk about cats and we all know cats are curious. So I forgot to ask you, what are you curious about? Every episode I end with, what are you curious about? Anything you're curious about?
Oh man, that's a doozy.
Anything.
Not good.
Caroline, you guys forgot to remind me. Yeah.
I'm not good with on-the-spot questions. I don't know. I think one of the things that I always question is why my husband doesn't cut all of his nails at the same time.
Perfect. That's a perfect, Brett, there is no wrong answer. Listen to these videos and you will hear there is no wrong answer. That was perfect.
So random.
I'm just curious about so many things. So I am.
You. Yes.
Yes. Now we're going to leave it at that. Caroline, I loved it. Cat lovers. She's giggling at your, oh my gosh. Everybody loves it, Brett. See, it was perfect.
Oh,
you did perfect. Everybody loves it.
Thank you.
Stephanie says that was awesome.
I think we pay Stephanie to say that. So,
well, there were other people we didn't pay. People that we didn't pay.
Okay.
Lovers, I love it. Giggling, love it. So it was perfect. And I love you. And I'll see you. Well, hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to call you in just a second.
Okay.
Guys, next week we'll be back.
Bye.
Yourself and each other and the fur babies. Look at Stephanie. Bye.